Alright, can you hear me?
Yep.
Sweet!
Alright, we're gonna start because it is in the perfect place right now. Hello, everyone. Greetings and salutations to come up with my own greeting. Completely unique. I'm Nex at Next Level Dota, and this is...
I am Rankshis at TBD.
TBD. Wait, what's TBD?
To be determined.
Got it. Yeah, and this is just some casting of some Reddit Dota 2 League, RD2L, and this is just an in-house that we're practicing our casting skills, as well as enjoying these competitive players right in front of us as they hone their own skills and give us some delicious entertainment. So, we're gonna get into the draft right now and kind of see what they're going for. Ancient Apparition, the first pick, man. That's legit. Usually it's better for a counter
teams
pick.
have been favoring him since TI.
Yeah, I mean, but it's nice to see something different than the totally, I guess, stale at this point TI4 meta. Invoker getting banned in one of the first two bans, Lycan definitely not making it through. The people that did make it through is like Shadow Shaman and Death Prophet, which in the games that I've casted from RD2L get picked up like definitely in the first round. So those actually haven't even been picked up yet. And usually those dominate. And in fact, a Lycan made it through once, and I was like, I wonder if they're going to play it like correctly because it's been banned out so much that maybe people forgot how to play Lycan, but he had like literally wiped the floor and reestablished that you should ban Lycan. But anyways, yeah, going on with some of these picks, Skywrath Mage being the Skywrath Mage Earthshaker duo being picked. Yeah, I've seen that before, like the Fisser setup to the Mystic Flare. It's pretty good. It's enough to like where they stand in the full 2-second duration of the Mystic Flare, as well as just good roaming potential, like really good roaming potential. And Abaddon being picked up as the last of the two pick from the Radiant team. The Radiant and the Dire team, those are their team names. They don't actually have names right now. So we're just calling Team Radiant, Team Dire. But that's so weird to me. Like, both of Radiant's picks are something that you would pick, like, you would pick Ancient Apparition later, like, sure, definitely if they have a healing hero, but you would pick him up anyways. So the fact that they're picking him up first, that's fine. But Abaddon's usually like a counter pick to something. So, I don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing specifically that Abaddon's going to counter here. Like, Earthshaker's stun timings are split too far apart between different skills to successfully shield off, and Skywrath Mage is just a silence.
Yeah, I suppose that maybe the Purging the Silence would be good if you had a silence, like, a hero that gets countered by silence, like Brewmaster or something. But we'll see what they pick, maybe to protect themselves from that Ancient Seal, and Timbersaw being the other pick from the Dire team.
I think Timbersaw is a smart choice here, considering they don't have any lockdown with their support so far, unless they're going to make Abaddon a farming role. But Timbersaw is pretty safe to lane as it stands.
Yeah, Puck being picked up by the Radiant. And it's kind of cool because he can cross over the Fissers if need be. So, like, having the ability to
that's also true.
Yeah. But going over the second round bans, Viper, DP once again not making it through. Shadow Shaman still not banned or picked. Very surprising considering how powerful he is in right now. And also how well people think that he's good. Like in general, the Dota audience just believes that Shadow Shaman's really good right now, so it's odd that he's not being picked or banned. Silencer is being gets banned from the Radiant, which I think is important. Usually when you pick an Enigma or a Witch Doctor, which I've seen done, but it's interesting that they haven't picked either of those right now.
Radiant team pick.
Silencer's still an all-around good choice to have, and they have an Abaddon. If they shut down this guy's ability to team fight, it's not good for him.
Yeah, and picking a Puck into a Skywrath Mage, that could backfire just a little bit. Instant Ancient Seal is pretty good against heroes like Puck, and all of Radiant's heroes are definitely squishy. Like, if any of the Ancient Shield does come out and Abaddon's not there to purge it, like, a lot of the stuns from Earthshaker, the burst damage coming out from Timbersaw, and definitely the Sanity's Eclipse from Outward Devourer could devour their souls and their sanity in quick time, in quick measure. I'm trying to think of, like, what other sayings describe something that happens quickly.
Sure.
Yeah, but, I'm liking this, though, so far. It's really nice to see unique teams being picked.
I suppose so. We don't know the Radiant's fourth pick yet, but so far, really got to favor the Dire. They have a lot of burst damage, they have really good team fight, and they can disrupt the Radiant team pretty well. Like, the best way to deal with an Abaddon is just find a way to, like, ignore him and kind of make him useless during a team fight, and OD would be pretty good at that, and same with Earthshaker. And they picked with Slark.
Look at that.
Interesting.
Yeah, Rankshis, you're a Slark player.
So. Do you know what the biggest problem with picking a Slark this game is?
What's that?
All of the dire heroes do not need to click on a Slark to do damage to him. They can all just blow up a Slark, no problem. And that Slark's like big weakness is just AoE abilities that'll hit him regardless, and each one of them have one so far.
So true. And like, imagine, you know, you're a person that likes to, or like really good at now practice at using Dark Pact to purge debuffs, and like Earthshaker's long-range Fisser stun is just such an easy setup to Ancient Seal, and then you don't have anything.
Sure.
Like, can you say that Fisser being like is a good way of actually catching you, because it's instant, like there's really no vision, like it doesn't propagate.
Yeah, as long as there's no vision of it, it's really easy to get him before he Dark Packs. I'm not a big fan of the Slark pick so far.
Yeah, it's a cool pick in general, but definitely on this against the Dire team, it's going to be real tough. We'll see how it works. And Anti-Mage
it'll go well with Abaddon, but
that definitely
again, Abaddon has to work, so we'll see.
Yeah, and even Chilly Touch from Ancient Apparition slows down the attack speed from Slark, so Essence Shift not getting as many attacks per se, but the right-click enhancement's definitely there. Like, that's... You could burst down someone in leash. But yeah, Anti-Mage, wow. This is really old. Interesting.
I love that they banned Bloodseeker. I know a lot of pro teams and whatnot won't play Bloodseeker, but Bloodseeker is a crazy hard counter to Anti-Mage. You have a Silence, you have a Rupture that'll do damage when he blinks. It does pure damage. Like, BKB ignores it, so Anti-Mage is just forced into not building a BKB for the most part. Like, Bloodseeker counters almost every part of Anti-Mage.
You know, I looked up and I saw that Bloodseeker's Rupture doesn't do any damage to heroes that teleport larger than 1200 distance. So Anti-Mage's Blink is less than 1200, but Time Walk from Faceless Void isn't. So I'm wondering if
I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, Time Walk ranks up to like around, I think it's like 1350 distance. So he has like the largest gap closer in the game, I think, and so, but that's only at rank 4, and and I think he's invulnerable in between. But yeah, Husker, wow. Now, let me think about this. So Ancient Apparition Husker is really good.
Timbersaw is just pure.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, can we say that?
I suppose so. I'm.
You're what?
I don't want to say the Radiant team is lost because that is unfair. But
yeah, but we'll say. Draft, if we were betting men, the draft would indicate that the Dire team was going to win.
Sure.
I mean, everything else being equal.
Yeah.
Because Anti-Mage can blink out of Slark Pounce, right? Or wait, Leap.
Yes.
Wait, no, is it Pounce or Leap?
Pounce.
Pounce, yeah. It's Leap for Morona. Yeah, he can blink out of that Pounce, so they have nothing. Like, Anti-Mage has nothing other than Silence coming out from Puck. Is the only thing that can stop him from blinking. Gotta decrease my camera speed. I just moved it back up. There we go. Oh, by the way, we can draw on the map holding control. Like this. Woo! It's really fun. Please no aggro try. You there, Rankshis?
I am indeed.
Did you hear me about drawing on the map? You can do it once you're broadcasting in a lobby.
Woo!
Well, I mean, like, on the actual ground. So I'm saying. See? I can draw a happy face. Nah, mean.
What a life.
What a life. When you draw on the map, though, I've noticed, check how, like, much lines get drawn. You see that? See how it's, like, really thick?
30 seconds.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Why does mine do that and yours doesn't?
Mine looks really thick and yours doesn't to me.
Oh, wow, so it's only on your screen. Okay, good. We learned today. Okay, anyways, going over the draft, or not the draft, but who's playing who, calling out these famous people that I actually am not familiar with. Sync, playing the Skywrath Mage on the support, most likely. Edrill, playing the Earthshaker. Reminds me of Beedrill, the Pokemon. Nostalgia. Common,
very
playing
different.
Anti-Mage.
Very different.
Yeah. Fetchnish Fetz Schneidel playing on the OD in the mid lane, and solo off lane, Valiar. He's too fast. His like nameplate is like moving so quickly I can't even see most of his letters. Valiar playing the Timbersaw. And back on the Radiant team, the team that has to fight for victory because of their draft, in our opinions, Mac playing on the Ancient Apparition. The Abaddon being played by Kir in the aggro try, and the last other member in this aggro try is Slark being played by WKS, and the OD mid being played by Left Wing Faggots. So good. Maturity being displayed here in RD2L, and Moomin. Actually, I know Moomin. I've seen him before in some other location. He being playing the puck in the off lane against Timbersaw. But oh my god, there's some action in the top lane. Tri-lane against Tri. There's the leash, but Antimage is able to blink out of it. But wow, Slark was almost dead, but there comes the Aphotic Shield coming out from Abaddon. He'll be just fine. The salve getting canceled finally by the Arcane Bolt from the Skywrath Mage. That was a Fissure initiation into a silence, so he almost got bursted down. But not enough.
Yeah.
Now, looking at this aggro try, if the Fissures are there, this could be really good for the Dire team. They might actually get some kills out of this, but other than that, the Radiant team is going to be, just in general, better, I'd say. What do you think?
It's too easy to burst down the Slark, in my opinion, and the Abaddon himself, like, only has counter initiation kind of to his name. He's not going to do a lot of damage other than that shield exploding.
Yeah, but it does do AoE damage, and it prevents damage, so it's a huge net gain in damage in the simplest form. So like, yeah, it's definitely going to contribute a lot, but it is 2 melees. The Chilling Touch is going to be harder to actually deal its damage. But look how low Ancient Apparition. He's actually not. He could get bursted right now. Look how close he is. Will they go on him? Is there going to be a Fissure? He's actually being... The Earthshaker, the source of the Fissure, is actually getting drawn away by the Abaddon, which is actually good, because if Fissure was there, that'd be really bad.
They have a pretty good ward placement to try to avoid Fissure.
Yeah, definitely true. But
yep.
Anti-Mage is really low HP. He does have that salve, and he'll probably pop it pretty here soon after the Tango rolls out. But oh man, yeah, like we said, Anti-Mage isn't in trouble right now. Like, he can blink out at any time. There is definitely no silence up here. DD Rune on the Husker, pulling up the last hits, just so we see that. The off lane, or the solo lanes, are doing pretty much equal, 9v9. And I guess mostly the lanes are even. OD against the Husker is about even as well. So, although the Husker is getting low HP, getting harassed a good amount.
I mean, as a Husker, not a big deal. You kind of like that. I will say,
Sure.
A positive trait about the Husker is he can deal with OD pretty well, because look at this, he's getting his int taken away, doesn't even care. He's like, whatever, Burning Spears, cost health, not even mad.
Yeah, I'm not going to use Inner Vitality for a while, so don't even worry.
Yep.
And he's a strength hero, doesn't take the attack damage at all. And yeah, when those Burning Spears get up, he might be able to take out this OD, despite the fact that, yeah, I mean, well, he's actually manning up. Is Husker going to do it? Oh, he's getting Astral Imprisoned. The OD got a little scared, and wow, that could have been close. And there's salve coming out from the Husker, so he's actually going to regen just a little bit. What do you think about Puck versus Timbersaw? It's pretty
It super favors Puck. Like, Puck has a bunch of magic damage he can do. Puck can harass more than the Timbersaw. It's easy to kind of evade Timber Chain with Phase Shift. Like, Puck is in total advantage here.
And Timbersaw's getting a lot of last hits. And
yeah, but like, Timbersaw's not... Yeah, Timbersaw's not doing bad by any means.
But he wants to be able to get kills, basically, against the lane that he's in, and the silence on the Puck is going to make him so he can't really do that. Oh, is it mid?
Yeah, he's almost level 6 as well.
Okay, nothing's that. Oh, wow, he might be. Okay, I was going to say, he might be able to get a kill. This OT is burning. He got 3 stacks of those Flaming Spears. If Oscar had manned up, he might have been able to kill him. Actually, he might go now. No, just doesn't want to get... It's real close.
I'm crazy surprised how well this Slark is doing, considering he had to burn his salve within the first 30 seconds of the lane.
Yeah, if
like,
I was...
Yeah.
Oh.
He's keeping up with the last hit, like, leaderboard, if you will.
Yeah. And, wow, actually not getting Mist Coil, getting on the Abaddon. He's going Curse of Avernus, which is a little interesting. Mist Coil is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, but if you look, he actually is spending a lot of time harassing that Earthshaker.
That's true.
So it could be worth the point.
That's a good point, yeah. That's a really good way of... and that Earthshaker definitely is... He wants to be able to flank the lane. That's where he's most useful, but he's definitely getting zoned out by that Abaddon. That's like, yeah, he wants to get that splitting Fisser, and yeah, that's really... This is a really good placement by the Radiant team. I'm actually really surprised.
Yeah, not wrong.
But yeah, so like, yeah, you're like you said, Slark is getting a lot of last hits, and it's like if I was the Dire team and I was the supports on the Dire team, it'd be really iffy because like, yeah, they can punish you, and they have that kind of like mindset that like, I don't know, I guess mind games where they look like they're gonna die, but then they have the aphotic shield and then the burst damage from Chilling Touch, and they can totally turn it around. So if I was the supports from Dire, I would be pretty scared as well. And it'd be hard to do anything as the Dire, but Anti-Mage is not doing horrible. Well, actually, I take that back. I thought he was up there in the charts, but he's actually only got 11 CS, which not that.
He really needs to get his ring of health, and it looks like he's going to do that right now.
Okay.
Once he has it, like the lane definitely becomes easier. It's definitely a late ring of health, but it will become easier.
Definitely, but OD's got Sanity's Eclipse now, and Husker is not known for his intelligence. But actually, I'm going back top lane. There's a Fisser on Abaddon. He's super low. He doesn't even have mana for a shield, and the Arcane Bolt is going to take him out after some right-click damage from the Anti-Mage, who was burning his mana. I think that's why he didn't have enough mana. So he thought he was okay. He thought he had enough mana for a shield, but it got all burned. So wow, Dire taking a situation and flipping it just a little bit.
Go Dire team. Don't make me wrong in this instance.
Yeah, about the draft, yeah.
Yeah, I hate to root for a team unfairly, but I like being right.
But yeah, like as I was saying, before the action happened top, like, OD could probably get a kill on Husker. It's that, I mean, it is magical damage, but he could burst him down immediately in his high HP and then just use his pure damage orbs to get the rest of the HP. So if he gets enough Astral Imprisonment stacks, and it looks like OD had a regen rune, so he's at full mana now, he's going to be able to spam out those Astral Imprisonments. And I think that could be a kill on Husker.
Oh, for sure. I really like his variation of the build. Back in the old days, people used to go 0-4-4 and like regardless of anything. But he really needs 1 point of the Arcane Orb if he's gonna kill Husker at all, or at least try to kill Husker.
Yeah, there was almost a kill top, but Slark was able to jump away, and they didn't really have anything. The silence was there, I think, but it's only rank 1, so it only happened for just a little bit. Now, both teams don't have wards up, really. There's a fresh ward that actually just appeared in the top lane for the Dire team, so they'll be able to scout out where the Radiant team is in terms of this lane, which I'm a big fan of having a ward up when you're fighting, but as I'm talking about fighting, Slark gets all his mana burned just before Anti-Mage blinks away, and that's all of Slark's mana. That is not gonna
And that's how the lane should have been going from the beginning, in my opinion. Like, Fissure wasn't there, and it's kind of a bummer, but every time, that's how it should have gone.
This Husker going out, but OD did ping it. Actually, Skywrath Mage pinged it. So this Husker's going to try to make something happen here, but I think that, yeah, definitely the Dire team knows about it, and that's why Anti-Mage is hiding. So this game probably won't work out unless something happens, unless they dive the tower, which is totally in the cards with that Abaddon Aphotic Shield. Will they do it? I mean, Husker's one of those heroes that wants to dive. Doesn't have anything crazy to his name, though, just 2 Gauntlets of Strength. Phase Boots, which I agree with. The bot lane's the quietest lane of all, for sure. They're just kind of doing their thing. Definitely, yeah, like you said, Timbersaw is not doing the best.
Yeah, the puck is really, you can look at it, 53-16 on that puck, while that Timbersaw's at 26-6. Like, Timbersaw has definitely dropped off a little bit now that puck has magic damage.
He's in the reeds, but finally there was a little bit of time there where Radiant team was completely split. But the Dire team didn't want to go on them because they are outnumbered. OD is happy to apply some tower damage mid and to continue to farm up. But yeah, wow, yeah, you're totally right. Puck has so many last hits. I can't even believe how many last hits he has. And safely in Puck.
Kind of a weird thing coming out of OD. Late Null Talisman. Maybe he's going into a Dagon, and he really wants that Null Talisman.
Right.
His money seems better spent elsewhere, though.
Yeah, I mean, if they're getting a Dagon, it means they want to burst someone down, but, I mean, there's a lot of squishy supports coming out from the Radiant. Not going to do much against that Husker, but he already has the ability to kill him with pure damage orbs, so maybe he just wants to, like, make sure Husker gets low enough where his orbs can finish him, just, like, instantly kill him, just, like, Sanity's Eclipse, Dagon into Arcane Orbs, which would only probably take 1 or 2 orbs after that.
I think he's just getting a casual 8-minute talisman, is what he's doing, if I had to guess.
Yeah, definitely. Do you use the camera move style where you hold down the middle mouse button and then drag it and it does like a smooth drag? Have you seen that?
Oh wow, I have not. I've been using the arrow keys.
Yeah, that's what I use like for the most part. But like if you can actually use the smooth drag, it's really what it does is it freezes your cursor in place, but like on the screen.
Yeah, I like it. I'm using it right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you go too far, it, like literally off the screen, it'll stop abruptly because you're now off the screen. If you notice that, so it's a weird, like kind of weird system. But it definitely is good, and. Yeah, oh shit, there is definitely something happening. 3 of the Radiant team are diving the OD, and he actually loops around the trees and completely dodges them while the TP from Timbersaw comes out, and AA is completely split. Timbersaw's on the chase, and this is the deadest AA I have ever seen. And wow.
Yep.
I would like to I wish I could do the replay thing. Actually, like they implemented that feature for replays, and I don't actually know how to go back, but I know that that's definitely a feature we have now. Maybe it's only official tournaments. Slark almost gets got on, and a blink in, finally a fresh blink coming out from Puck, but he gets fistered up. Oh, got Ancient Seal just a little bit there, but his illusory, the orb, the illusory orb was able to go over the fister, but the mana void was able to clean him up after he spent all that mana, and nothing coming out of that. That was the blink reveal, and no follow-up there. Definitely.
Ow, indeed, Puck.
Yeah.
Ow, indeed.
Yeah, but this is where Husker is almost at his strongest. He's almost got the rank 4 Burning Spears, and he's got rank 4 Berserker's Blood, and he hasn't doesn't have anything fancy like a armlet of Mordigian to his name, Mordigian. But I guarantee this is where if he goes offensive, that'll be pain being seen. We'll see.
I'm not sure how I feel about Puck coming top right away. Like, he got that blink dagger. Like, he's definitely way ahead of everyone else. There's no reason for him to kind of throw it away if they're not ready for it. Maybe it was just a miscommunication or something, but Slark wasn't at full health or full mana. He doesn't have his ult yet. Abaddon has 2 in Miscoil, 1 in Shield, you know, and Ancient Apparition can definitely use his ult before he starts fighting, so it seemed like a little bit of a mistake, if you ask me.
Yeah, yeah, an execution mistake. Like, top is probably a good selection because Puck is an AoE hero, but it's the timing of their HP. And OD does now have the Staff of Wizardry, so you're right about that Dagon.
Maybe. He could be going for Staff.
Oh, and I guess just a casual null talisman into 4 staff.
Yeah, I don't want to be right about the Dagon, but
I'm pretty sure you're going to be right about that. Left wing faggots is looking to use his haste on this OD. Maybe OD's a right wing faggot and he wants to just punish him for his hubris. Blink in from Puck. There's the silence and life break, and a TP is going to come in from Timbersaw, but it's going to be entirely too late. Easy kill coming out from the Radiant. That's going to put them on the board for their first kill.
I like that Ancient Apparition rotated. Like, not a lot of things are going correctly top. Let Slark get some levels. He loves levels. Like, Slark needs to get a couple things maxed out. He's going 2 points in Essence Shift, which I used to do a lot more of when I was new to Slark, but I also really like it, because 15 seconds of stat steal isn't all that great when a fight's happening. Like, you'll definitely start losing it.
And looks like they were baiting out the Slark attack here at top. There was Skywrath and the Fister coming out. They were just waiting, but there's the Mystic Flare reveal. They finally have it, and that's a dead Slark after the Mana Void. But there's the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast on Anti-Mage, and that's going to secure that kill. It is a 2-for-1. It is an Anti-Mage kill, but definitely going the way of the Dire. And whoop, there's Puck actually coming in as well from the sidelines. He isn't able to get the kill on the Earthshaker, and he's able to salve up right after that. If he had orbed just a little bit differently, or used the Dream Coil, there was 2 people there for that Dream Coil. Maybe it was just coming out.
There was indeed.
But he says, I don't know what happened.
Ancient Apparition That Ancient Apparition Blast was indeed why they needed it way earlier, or why they didn't need to gank way earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Because we obviously took. Oh, actually, Puck tried to go on someone as Earthshaker gets his. He was in the blink that, or in the trees as the Elusive Orb comes out. And Ancient Apparition goes behind, flanks him, and shanks him. But oh, Timbersaw's on the chase. He knows the Ancient Apparition's there, and he knows he's running away from his team. Will he actually be able to chase it? There's no trees where he's headed. There is one right next to the top rim, but oh, Husker with a DD is there to reinforce. That could have been danger, but wow, yeah, it's 3-5. So I mean, what is Radiant strong at right now? Because definitely like the late game goes to the Dire. I would say in many ways, at least until the BKBs come out. But even then, like Anti-Mage will be really strong.
So it seems like the Radiant team, and the Radiant team was obviously doing well for a little while, but they were focusing on their Slark kind of making plays, and they need to switch it up and focus on letting their Husker do plays and letting their Slark farm a little bit, because their Slark needs something if he's going to start contributing to anything. And Husker's more or less like ready to go. Like he's got Burning Spears, he's got Leap, he's got Max Berserker's Blood. Like the Husker can get kills.
They see this.
Stay with the Husker.
Skywrath Mage by himself bot, and they pinged him out. Puck trying to make something happen. Maybe they can bait him out, but no, they didn't. They're not going to dive the tower. They could have. There's actually an Ice Blast coming for Ancient Apparition. He pings it out as well. And this is going to land. Are they going to dive for this? No, they could have actually. I mean, these are dive heroes. Puck and Slark are definitely dive heroes, and unbeknownst to them, not many dire heroes were there to reinforce. But well, I don't know. They're not making action happen as much as I'd say that they need to.
No, for sure.
They have heroes that can dive. They've got Abaddon, Puck, Slark, and then Ancient Apparition, Ice Blast to help with those ganks at a global level. And I mean Husker, who also wants to dive and get damage and take people out with him, go out blazing, like literally blazing, with the flaming spears. To explain my joke, burning spears.
That was funny.
Yeah, it was super. I'm glad I said
it. Yep.
But yeah, so I mean. They could have made something happen so far. It's 16 minutes in the game. They only have 3 kills to their name. They're definitely behind in kills, and it's just like, you know, you gotta get. At some point, you have to get desperate. And speaking of that, Puck actually gets his silence off, but once again, the Elusive Orb wasn't projected in a way that allows him to chase. And Dream Coil still in the cards, and Ice Blast gonna be off the mark as well. Earthshaker just looking to do something. Husker is not gonna find his target. OD juked around the trees on the high ground with that haste. Nodi's now going on Abaddon. He doesn't have any mana, and the Sanity's Eclipse comes out for the first time in the game. But he actually, the Dream Coil is there to make it so that it's a 1-for-1 trade here at the top lane. But I'm not sure where Slark died. It looks like in bot lane, Timbersaw was able to 1v1 him.
Yeah, Timbersaw, pretty good. Slark's ult isn't going to do anything against the Timbersaw, I'll tell you that right now.
Exactly. And that chakram is pure damage. Just cut ya. Cut.
Almost as if Slark was made of trees.
Yeah. Mid lane, there's something that's going to get this tower, and Earthshaker's trying to stall as best he can. This tower is going down slowly but surely, and a little bit of reprieve coming out from the Radiant. There is a glyph and a TP from Skywrath Mage. Are they going to be able to chase? There wasn't a Fissure initiation while they're trying to chase. That's the moment that you want to Fissure into the concussive shot, ancient seal, mystic flare combo. The wombo was possible, but it didn't happen. I mean, the part of this is educational. You know, this is an in-house league, just different people of varying skill levels trying to do their best. So we just like to point out things that could happen, things that could have been done better, and or explain why certain things are rolling out the way they are. Denied tower.
And a great deny on middle lane. Get out of there. Like that was the best thing they could have hoped for.
Yep. In
all truthfulness, they have the Puck there and they have the Husker there. Like they're best 2 heroes kind of right now. So deny the tower. No need to be there.
Yeah. Make sure that the Radiant team doesn't get enough gold to contest them as the Dire team's trying to get to late game. And this Timbersaw, honestly, has been just farming as much as he can. He's definitely played a greedy Timbersaw. Radiant's wrapping around, though, mid. There is a Puck really deep behind enemy lines. Will they see him? OD actually sees him, but just as he gets silenced, there's the Elusive Orb. He's going to be able to face shift their jaunt to that. And there's the Dream Coil actually onto the OD, but he gets hit by the Ice Blast on the back lines, but on the front lines, Husker gets annihilated by the Timbersaw, who did TP in the pure damage. Just doing way too much. Puck going in again. He's not able to get enough damage on the OD once again, and he goes down to the Echo Slam as well as the Arcane Orbs. And there's the a Chant Totem stunning the Slark just a little bit. But the Slark is now a little bit, has to get out of the vision in order to get HP, but he's not wrapping around. He is hurting himself with the Dark Pact. The pure damage coming out from the OD is just way too strong. And he does have that Force Staff now.
That Earthshaker, yeah, am I right or am I right?
Yep,
that Earthshaker saved the bejesus out of that OD. That OD was dead for sure until that Earthshaker came in.
Yeah, Echo Slam. Good move.
Good
the
ability.
Chaos Dunk. Chaos
As he likes to call it.
Dunk.
Under attack.
What's the other one? Earth Gape. He doesn't say Earth Gape as much anymore. They like removed some of the lines from the rotation. Interesting. Like Kunkka doesn't say well hello anymore. Blink in from Puck in the mid lane. Ice Blast off the mark. And not able to make that wombo happen in dead OD. He foresaw that from happening. He's like, doesn't he? He's a yeah. Like he talks about predictions as well as like with Death Prophet. They both like say something about like I foresaw your death, stuff like that. I like to get into the lore, you know.
Sure. So this Slark is going around trying to find wards for the enemy or for their team, by the way, for the Radiant team.
Nice. Where did he find the other one?
Yeah,
Or
which
he was just looking.
I mean, so bottom got taken and he ran down there to try to see if there was a ward up. He didn't actually run out far enough to discover the new one, but he did appear to check ever so slightly.
Yeah, that's one of those things that like you can. It's like it's like I would say just as good as Zeus, if not better, because he can like for sure find them without like spending any mana in terms of like searching for
Dire's
wards.
bottom tower has
That's a lot of worth. That's like a
And-
huge amount of worth.
Yeah.
That teams don't capitalize on all the time. If those that are watching,
Husker
click on.
Husker taking a bottom tower for free.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good day for a Husker.
Map control, like it's 5 to 10, but you know it's still anyone's game really. Let's look at the net worth, and definitely going the way of the Dire, but not that much. It's more XP advantage. Interestingly enough, because it's just the kills. So it's strangely Radiant's actually farming better. It appears because the gold graph isn't as behind for the Radiant, but the kills are what's giving Dire the XP. So kind of interesting. What does Anti-Mage actually have? He does have his Battle Fury, so that's online. And
Yeah, he decided to go for his poor man's shield and his treads before actually building his battle fury, which
Slark.
most people don't do anymore. But
extra
we
mid
have to
lane
keep that
gets a
up top.
pounce on Skywrath Mage, but he's able to get cut down by the pure damage from the Skywrath, and then Ice Blast is able to kill OD before he can do anything. But Skywrath Mage is actually chasing this puck, and the Ancient Seal is almost enough, but there's a phase shift and almost got out. But didn't have the cooldowns up in order to escape. And Timbersaw, here's what he's good at. He's chasing. It's a little off the mark on the Chakram, and that's what he's just going to say, alright, I'm backing up, whatever. Fine.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
But
Puck kind of pinged his team out. See, this is a big mistake, by the way. This Husker was pushing bottom, and let's look. He didn't actually do all that much damage to the tower, and almost half, which is okay, but not great. Anti-Mage, though, took top tower and is farming well. He has a Battle Fury. It's kind of late, but he's catching up. Oh, and the nice leap coming out.
Sorry, I was like looking at top lane. There was almost a kill from Ice Blast on the Skywrath Mage, so I did not even see what happened top. Recap me.
Oh, Husker got his leap as the anti-mage blinked and had the long-range dunk happen. And as everyone knows, Husker versus anti-mage, you know, Husker's going to do well for the first half hour, 45 minutes of the game with that. But we'll see how he does later with it.
I was like looking at Husker and looking at his inventory, and I'm completely missing all of these fights. But now Puck is, I think it's Puck. Is it? No, it's Abaddon getting Astral imprisoned in a group of Dire. And wait, a little out of position. I think that was at least 2 kills. I think that was only an Ancient Apparition Abaddon who were here in the mid lane. So not good for 2 supports to be in the mid lane pushing that far.
It's a bummer. Like, the Radiant was actually, like, exceeding my expectations by a huge margin, but they keep making mistakes. Like this Puck, who has a super early Blink Dagger, like, didn't show up to that fight. Husker didn't show up to the fight previous. Like, they're making mistakes while the other team is like, we have an anti-mage, let's 4-man and let this anti-mage split push.
Lance Blast. Doesn't actually hit even anyone, but that's not going to stop Puck from going in. He does have a DD, and there's the Dream Coil, but he gets complete, like we said, he's silenced up, Yule's up, and he gets bursted in. Earthshaker is going to go down to the... Actually, no, he gets out right before the TP. Slark didn't have enough damage, and he definitely doesn't have any items right now, so that's, really only at 2 Essence Chip stacks. Meanwhile, AM is pushing top by himself, getting that farm, ricing all day, and Timbersaw is going to go back to do the same thing in the bot lane.
And you can't send the Abaddon to try to deal with the anti-mage.
Yeah, no,
I'm not quite sure why he's up there. They need to send that Husker or that Slark. Their primary goal should be to try to kill that anti-mage over and over. Yeah. Probably the Slark.
But like it's like
I mean the Husker will have an easier time doing it at the moment, but the Slark needs to catch up, so the Slark needs to farm, and the Slark needs levels. Yeah. And the Husker can fight the other team. So I think Husker's also getting countered by the OD and the Timbersaw. Their draft is really hurting them here. You can see that.
Yeah. But as far as even Husker,
they don't have any
gank Anti-Mage, like he honestly, if Anti-Mage waits for the life break to blink, he can just blink way after the life break hits. Can't he? And then
he just needs to. Yeah, he needs to make sure not to mess it up again. But they are 5-manning mid, so
this is good. So finally, some grouped up. They're trying to this is the desperation kind of push / team fight that we were looking for. And notice how Anti-Mage is continuing to farm. So if they did this a little bit earlier, they could have taken a lot of the tier 2 and tier 1 towers, and then gotten map control, and then Anti-Mage wouldn't have been able to farm nearly as well. But yeah, like I was saying, that the only way that things like Husker can really get solo kills is if he gets like a 4-staff or an Orchid or something, or an Orchid onto Slark as well. But there's the initiation coming out from the Dream Coil on Puck. He blinks in, but he's able to illusory orb away with the Fister counter initiation. He's able to stop them in their tracks and stops the path uphill, so they couldn't even chase.
The Dream Coil hit one person when he definitely had the opportunity to hit at least 3, and if he did hit that OD when that OD 4-staff, that OD might have died from the shatter effect.
Yeah, definitely. And looks like Puck is drawing on the map in this fashion, saying, hey, let's take top tower or bottom tower, the last one there. But honestly, they should be more focused on the top tower. That's not where the line was, but it looks like they might be heading up there, which would be the smart thing to do. Take away that safe lane. Anyway, just way too safe. On this Anti-Mage. Is he going to blink away? Looks like Anti-Mage is turning the other direction. He's blinking into the trees. Does he have a TP? Yes, he does. Is Slark going to find him? They don't have actually anything that can cancel that TP, unfortunately. So the only thing they have on their team is that Puck Dream Coil. Is that true? Damn.
I think this Slark needs to build Silence, an Orchid Malevolence. He definitely needs a way to stop that Anti-Mage from blinking away. The Husker's going BKB, so he's not going to be able to do it soon. The Slark at least has a mock survivability with Shadow Dance, so I think that's the way they should go.
Yeah, and the Shadow
Free
Blade
Tower middle.
Yeah, Free Tower middle going the way of Dire. They grouped up just a little bit for that. But yeah, Shadow Blade. What do you think about the Shadow Blade on Slark in this game?
It's not bad. It's a great way to sneak up on Anti-Mage. I think Shadow Blade has its merit to get the 150 bonus damage out of stealth, and that's really good for Slark because, every hit is important with Essence Shift. You get attack speed out of it, and attack speed's great for Slark, so it's not a bad item by any means.
So, they're going actually on an OD illusion here. That is a bottled illusion. They're chasing it actually all the way. Here comes the lulls as the Dream Coil is used as well. Oh, wow. Here comes the chat remarks, I guarantee. Oh, no, they're actually not going to shit talk. They're too serious. They're just like, oh, okay.
They have to not go top. The Dream Coil was just wasted. This is not worth it for him.
Yeah. And notice how easy that tier 1 tower was to take. Once again, if they had done that a little bit earlier, Anti-Mage dodged. Even now with as much farm as he has, Yasha and Battle Fury, and Puck off the mark again with the Illusory Orb. No initiation is, of course, with the Dream Coil. He does have a Yule, so maybe that could have been used to initiate, but they really don't think they can initiate right now, so they're just doing their best to kind of push them away and try to chip down this tower. But going back to the Shadow Blade, here's what I actually thought would be the reason why, if anything, he got that Shadow Blade. Alright, we gotta stop talking about it again because the burst damage coming from Timbersaw and the Sanity Eclipse completely annihilates Ancient Apparition, and Timbersaw is now chasing Puck. Is there gonna be a silence? Ancient Seal is not used, but he wasn't in range, and Mystic Flare was used before it. The Skywrath goes down to the Husker. There is a chase on the back lines. Puck is still being chased by Timbersaw, but going back to the main fight, OD's kind of by himself. Slark, they can't find him. Husker and Slark don't know where he is. OD's on the high ground, waiting to Astral Imprison. Are they gonna find it? And actually, Timbersaw's by himself. himself. OD force taps into the fight. Pure damage orbs onto Husker. Husker's dead. Now Puck is going to face Jean over to the other tower, and Slark's going on him. But wow, the arcane orb damage is crazy. Triple kill and going the way of Husker, and ultra kill going the way of OD. And Blink from the Puck is going to retreat and TP away. All without
Slark
the
made a
anti-mage.
huge mistake. Yeah, well, I mean,
Of course.
that's how you play anti-mage. Slark made a huge mistake earlier of he successfully got away. Maybe he was worried that somebody was going to chase him, but he like ran around this way and then he ulted while no one was chasing him. He needs to save his ult for fighting Husker and OD. Like he's never going to, or Husker, sorry, wow, OD and anti-mage. He's never going to win without that ult. So he definitely needs to save it and use it better than he did that fight.
Yep. And it looks like there is a almost a Scythe of Vice coming up from OD. He got both the items from the secret shop. Now just has the ultimate orb, which will be there in 200 gold. So that's not good, especially another lockdown for Slark. And here's what I was saying about the Shadow Blade. So first, if the Ancient Seal comes out, like that, the Shadow Blade will allow him to regen HP, even if not for a split second before the Dust of the Sentries come out. So like that's actually a really good counter to getting like early silenced, right? But then now you've got Scythe of Vice.
100% true. Yeah, I'll agree with that, but I think it's important to remember that he's going to use that for initiation way more than he's going to be able to use it in the middle of a team fight.
Oh, and Anti-Mage is all by himself, and he would have been able to blink away, but there was the Waning Rift, the Waning Rift coming out from the Puck, and that was able to help him for just a little bit, so the Anti-Mage couldn't get away, but the Manta style is what canceled that silence, and he was able to get away because of that. Oh, you're trying to gank Anti-Mage now? Yeah, he has a Manta style, so good luck.
Yeah, if you pull up the last hit chart, you can see that Anti-Mage is, doing what Anti-Mage does and topping everyone else right now, but they did a fair job of shutting him down early, but action happening middle.
Puck gets bursted by the Mystic Flare and the silence coming out, I think, from the Scythe of Vice as well, and Husker, BKB's going on the OD. Here comes the Flame Spears, defensive Astral Imprisonment though. Now he's going on the Skyrat, taking a bunch of damage, but Skyrat's already blown his load. OD's back, pure damage orbs on the Ancient Apparition. Now the OD is dead. Husker finally goes down after the Burning Spears are administered, but it's completely going the way of Dire. And Radiant is on the ropes. Didn't have anything to do with this fight. He's actually going in, trying to clean up, and there's the kill on the Skywrath Mage, and there's Earthshaker. He's also really low, but actually the Dream Coil tree, he thought that all of the Dire team was in those trees, but they were not. And the Eagle is coming out from Puck. Is he going to be able to have enough time? No. Blink Dagger was not actually on from cooldown. He was like half a second away. And the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast, is it going to hit OD? Is he going to nail it this time? Why is he? Oh no, you give us vision. He's actually still going to kill him. He doesn't need the burst damage.
It's still, yeah.
But, yeah. I was going to say, like, I play a lot of Ancient Apparition. I've told these guys I play with support a lot. And so I usually point out things that come out from supports, but still gets the kill.
Sure. Still does the work. It's level 2 ult? Yeah, level 2. No way he would have survived that.
Yep. For sure. But, so yeah, that team fight definitely going the way of the Dire, and Lil got some recompense after those Puck kills, but he himself died, so... Yeah, this is not good for the Radiant.
Like I was saying earlier, like it's too late for the Puck to be able to actually like do anything against this anti-mage now that he has his Manta style. I mean, I know it's 30 minutes in. It's definitely like late for Battle Fury treads into Manta. Technically, he went treads Battle Fury into Manta, but it's only a little bit late. I want to really specify that point, but. They can't gank him anymore. They have one silence for him, and he's going to Manta. Like, it's super easy to do. He doesn't have to save Manta for anything else, just the silence. Like, no big deal. He's super comfortable with that idea, I would bet you.
And it's not even like they didn't pick the anti-mage, like, early-ish. I suppose they picked him for the 4th pick, I believe. So...
Last pick.
Oh, was it a last pick? Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Now I remember. Yeah, okay, so I take that back. Like, it was a good on them to like pick the last, because they noticed like there is only one silence on Puck, and yeah, once he gets his Manta style, he literally has not one thing to stop him unless the Radiant team was, I guess, thinking enough to get like a Scythe of Ice or something.
Yeah, coming down to some item choices here. Slark's going Yasha, not needed. They need the extra silence.
Yeah. And
what is Husker building? Husker probably going into Heart, I would bet you. And that's not going to help lock down an anti-mage either. So I'm not sure what the Radiant's plan is here for dealing with that anti-mage.
Going down after warding, but he definitely gave away that he was warding. If they have any sentries, that is going to be for naught. The Dire is here,
I'm
though.
sure he was just casually walking over there.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter warded.
Yeah, he didn't put a ward there.
Yeah, he's just gazing. And the initiation onto 1 only Dream Coils the Skywrath. This Puck just trying to get solo kills. Ice Blast is on the mark. It does hit.
Nice.
Puck's by himself. He's on Yule's up, and now in the back line's Astral Imprisonment. I believe a defensive one coming out onto OD, but he Sanity's Eclipse as he comes out of it, and he's able to get a 1-for-1 trade on the Slark. And now Timbersaw is coming in. He's doing this pure damage. There's the Shock Drum, and just completely burst down the last HP coming out from Husker. Once again, all the things we talked about in terms of counter picking and or picking into counter picks, as more specifically from the Radiant team. GG coming out from the Radiant. I'd say there we are. Like we said that this would happen. You know, we noticed that there was definitely a moment there where Radiant could have done what their lineup was good for, but it comes down to the fact that they did pick into some counter picks.
They did indeed.
Yeah. So this has been Reddit Dota 2 League RD2L. I'm Nex, and this is Rankshis. We're going to be continuing to cast more today, so look forward to that. Next game coming up in just a couple, probably less than 15 minutes. See you there.